Something that blew me away about you and your talent is your bilingual aspect of it and how you spend that in, like we talked about earlier, you said you'll have a verse here, a verse there, but you mostly do English. And you're talking about you're going to have a project coming up soon. We're going to work on more Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, like we were talking earlier, it's crazy because I've always had Spanish lines and just like little words that I would throw into my music. But Dale Duro was actually my first, and I produced that joint. But it was the first record that I actually ever did that was fully Spanish.
Right.
Pretty traditional record. Ironically, reggaeton is like the hip hop of the Latin culture.
Right.
Where like right now, Latin trap is really popping and is what's actually at the forefront. But it always kind of comes back to reggaeton because it always has that bounce. So I wanted to do something that was traditional to that. And it was interesting because like I did that record, I've been doing English music for like 10 years. And so I'm really familiar with my voice and where it sounds good and how it sounds good. And so I did that record and suddenly everyone's like, oh, that's what you need to do, man. It's amazing. I'm like, this my English stuff is just, but I feel like a lot of times when people see you in a light, it's like, it's easier to accept RamboHustle, Latin artist doing Latin music than it is to accept RamboHustle doing English hip hop music because I'm maybe not looked at as like a direct like member of that culture in a sense, you know what I mean?
Right.
But that's an old conversation. Like if you think about like Latins and hip hop, we've been there since day one.
Oh yeah.
But how many Latin artists can you name that have reached a massive amounts of fan base and success without doing like, can we cuss on this? Without doing like fuck shit and like like Baby Bash and like Cyclone, like without doing something really really off the wall, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's and you look at it on the other side, you had like YG release that Go Loco record, which had like all this super Mexican like imagery and stuff, and instead of getting like a Snow the Product who represents that culture, the label was like, nah, let's go ahead and get John Zeta, which is, he's like got like 2 million followers. Yeah. He's like a huge, but he's from Puerto Rico.
Right.
So it's like, it's not like we're not really, and I think part of it is it happened naturally because we have a whole nother language that we can deliver our message with, So I think it's been kind of an uphill battle because like I said, like me being a Latin Hispanic artist, like it was, so I don't know. I'm focused on doing more Spanish music, but it's, again, I'm like 10 years of doing English music and now like 10 months of doing Spanish music and focusing on those melodies and that delivery and stuff like that. And honestly, like Spanish music tends to be very party driven. Like it's just party. Yeah. So to me, I think that maybe there's time for, maybe there's a window now for somebody to come in and do Spanish music with like real message and a real content and more of a deep, dynamic to it. Kind of like what Tego used to do. You know what I mean? Where he's really giving you like real bars about real life. So, I don't know. I don't see myself doing Spanish music and only doing party records, which are easy for me. But like, I don't want that to be like my legacy.
Your legacy, right? Yeah. Right. Well, what song are you going to perform for us today?
I actually brought something unreleased. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to release. I have like probably like 30 records like chilling. Right. I record a lot and I write a lot, but these are literally records that some of these I've had forever. You know what I mean? Wow. So this next year in 2020, I'm trying to decide if I want to roll out like a Russ kind of thing where I'm like rolling out a record like every other week or something like that, or if I want to package them all different and spread them out throughout the year. So I have a couple different ideas. I have like a project called Where's the Bathroom? Figure that one out. Right. But that one, like I have Palm Trees. And like if a label came to me right now, I was like, yo, like we like this project. We need another one. I'd be like, here.
Right.
It's ready. Yeah. So this record's called Great Days. Okay. Or Great Day. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet, but it's it's way more hip hop sounding than like the album was necessarily. Where, you know, to me, I feel like Palm Trees in Indiana really merges the current state of what beats sound like, but I'm not like auto-tuning everything.
Right.
So it's like they sound like today's beats, but I'm actually rapping on them.
Right.
And that was a real big thing for me because I wanted to merge that gap. You know, I didn't want to sound like anybody else, but I knew it was important that my music was like, it sounded like something you've heard before. You know what I mean? And that's why I have like, even the production, I have Matthias Young has like 2 cuts on the album. So it's like, for me, it was really important to do that. So we'll be performing Great Days today. Okay. I produced this record, and it's probably, it's funny. I had a couple projects I released prior to this album called From Me to You that kind of detail my return from LA to Indiana. Which was not like, it wasn't like I wasn't trying to come back from LA. Oh yeah. It was like, that's just how life kind of diced it up for me, you know what I mean? So I had 2 projects called From Me to You and then From Me to You 2 Second Letter. And those are way more hip hop and delivery and sound. So where like a lot of people, if you hear it now, you'd be like, whoa, like this is like, especially if you're like a fan of like the essence of hip hop. Right. You're like, why aren't you doing this? Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I've had a lot of people like kind of have that reaction because they're like, oh, like you, you know what I mean? Yeah. But again, you know, you have to at some point understand what the audience is listening to and how you fit into that dynamic. You know what I mean? So Great Days will be the record we perform. It's a pretty personal record. It's just about what I hope to achieve and the kind of life that I want to lead and the kind of legacy I want to leave behind. So it kind of ties into everything.
Well, we appreciate you coming in, and thank you to everybody out there watching. Stay tuned to see the performance, and also tune in, subscribe to LemonWire.com, tell a friend, and it's your boy Malachi the Boss, Rambo Hustle. Stay plugged in.
Yes, sir.
If they ask about me, tell them all good for a week, cause if you don't cry, can't eat. If they ask about me, tell them all God, I'm straight. Break for me, mama, even though we never met. If they ask about me, no lie, I never chose sides one time for the fan, cause they know who I am. If they ask about me, tell them I'm a man with a plan, now came in the game and I never held my hand down. If I came to the show, no, I came to party. Got a couple lines ready for that Vince Lombardi. Know it's prime time when I'm about to check. Next, cruise to the city in a drop top, yes. Cliche maybe, call me crazy, cause I hustle crazy, but I'm paid though. I ain't tryna detach, but it's obvious the money come with income tax. I just made a whole album full of bangers. Take you out to Cali, I can show you what a gang is. Feel the bass line, baby, twist your fingers. Brakes fall off, don't lose your steering. 5'9", but I'm taller than a Lego. We're trying to build bridges, but I ended with a payroll. Party in the city, bet you never wanna let go. 465, so you know I know my angles. About me, tell them all good for a week, cause if you don't cry, can't eat. If they ask about me, tell them all God, I'm straight. Break for me, mama, even though we never met. If they ask about me, no lie, I never chose sides one time for the fan, cause they know who I am. If they ask about me, tell them I'm a man with a plan, now came in the game and I never held my hand out. I wanna live like tomorrow, ain't promised. My account full of commas and my girl in designer wanna hoop with Obama party, hit the Bahamas. From a fat left the Havana, tryna make it to the land of hope. I've been on, but I wanted to provide. My city soon broke to climb out the dark. Vision of ours, I don't need the bling, the house or the car. Going berserk, this ain't no resort. Can't make it rain and God knows I tried. Had conversations with friends that's hating, argue with love was bad. If I make it, it's all the same. Side of my main, love me, you hate me, still out of range. Fortune and fame, it's hardly my motive. Sorry if I'm an asshole, baby, you never told me that. I'm just me. Tell them all good for a week, cause if you don't cry, can't eat. If they ask about